Okay, real quick, raise your hand if you've ever sat down to play Monopoly and the game ended in a full-blown family argument. Yeah, me too. Here's the thing though, what if I told you that most people, like the majority of people who play Monopoly, have been playing it wrong their entire lives? Not a little wrong, like significantly wrong. There are rules in that box that almost nobody follows. And those missing rules are actually the reason games drag on for 4 hours and someone ends up flipping the board. So in this video, we're going to fix all of that. We're talking property buying, building houses, going to jail, trading, and yes, the real rules about free parking that everyone gets wrong. Stick around because by the end of this, you're going to feel like you've been handed the cheat code to this game. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first. What is Monopoly really? At its core, Monopoly is a game about one thing: money. Specifically, taking everyone else's money until they have none left and you're the last person standing. That's it. That is the entire goal. You win when everybody else is broke, which honestly sounds a little ruthless when you say it out loud, but hey, it's just the game, right? The game has been around since the 1930s, and it's one of the best-selling board games of all time. Over 275 million copies sold. The board is a big square, and you walk around the outside of that square over and over again during the game. Each side has properties you can buy, special spaces that make things happen, and a few spots that are just not great to land on. We'll get to all of those. The game works best with 2 to 6 players, but honestly, 3 to 5 is the sweet spot. 2 players gets a little boring, and 6 players means the game takes approximately forever. Here's what you're working with when you open the box. You've got the board, a big stack of colorful money, property deed cards, 2 separate card decks, chance and community chest, little green houses and red hotels, 2 dice, and finally, the playing pieces, the little tokens everyone fights over. Personally, the top hat is superior. That's just facts. One person needs to be the banker. The banker handles all the money. Every player starts with exactly $1,500. Here's how it breaks down. 2 $500 bills, 2 100s, 2 50s, 6 20s, 5 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. The banker keeps the rest of the money in the bank. Every player picks a token and puts it on the go space. That's the corner with the little arrow pointing around the board. And with that, you are officially ready to play. Setup done. That wasn't so bad, right? Choosing who goes first is easy. Everyone rolls both dice, and whoever gets the highest number goes first. Ties roll again. Then play goes clockwise, left to right around the table. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this so far, this channel is all about this. We take board games, card games, party games, and we explain exactly how they work in plain English. No confusing rulebook, just clear, simple guides so you can get to the fun part faster. Hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. Smash that like too, it seriously helps us grow. Okay, back to Monopoly. Every single turn in Monopoly follows the same basic structure. You roll both dice, you move your token that many spaces forward, always clockwise, never backwards, and when you land on a space, something happens based on what that space is. That's basically it. That is a turn. The most common thing you'll land on is a property. Properties are the colored spaces around the board. When you land on one that nobody owns, you can buy it from the bank for the price printed on that space, or you can choose not to buy it. Now here's something a lot of people don't know. If you choose not to buy it, the property gets auctioned off immediately to the highest bidder. Yes, even you can bid, and the auction starts at $1, so someone can snag a property for way less than its face value. This rule changes the whole game, and most people skip it. Don't skip it. It's one of the best rules in the game. If you buy a property, you take the deed card and place it face up in front of you. You now own it, and when another player lands on your property, they owe you rent. The amount is right there on the deed card. They hand you the money. Done. Here's where owning property gets really exciting. If you own all the properties in a color group, like all 3 green ones or both dark purple ones, you've got what's called a monopoly. And now you charge double rent even without any buildings on them. Congratulations, you are officially dangerous. But wait, it gets better. Once you own a full color group, you can start buying houses and placing them on your properties. Each house dramatically increases the rent. Like Mediterranean Avenue goes from $6 rent with no houses to $250 rent with 4 houses. That is a massive difference, and that is how you win this game. You can put up to 4 houses on each property. After that, you trade in 4 houses for 1 hotel. Hotels charge the maximum rent. And let me just say, landing on Boardwalk with a hotel costs $2,000. You started with $1,500. If that happens to you, you are probably done. One super important rule about building houses: you have to build evenly. You can't stack 3 houses on one property and 0 on the others. You go 1 house at a time across all properties in the group. If you own 3 greens, you put 1 on the first, 1 on the second, 1 on the third, then start adding second houses. This trips people up all the time. Okay, not everything on the board is a property. Let's talk about the special spaces. First, go. Every single time you pass go or land on it, you collect $200 from the bank. Not just the first time, every time. This is how money keeps flowing in the game. Chance and Community Chest, 2 separate card decks scattered around the board. Land on one, draw the top card, do what it says. Some cards are awesome. Bank error in your favor, collect $200. Some are painful, go directly to jail. They keep things unpredictable and honestly pretty fun. Income tax, land here, pay $200 to the bank. Luxury tax, land here, pay $100. Neither is fun, both hurt a little. Just accept it and keep moving. Okay, free parking. We need to talk about this. Free parking is just a rest space. Nothing happens. You sit there and enjoy a moment of peace. That is it. There is 0 official rule about money collecting in the middle of the board. That is a made-up house rule passed down through generations, and it makes the game drag on forever. Play without it. You'll thank me. Jail. 2 ways it works. 1, you're just visiting, meaning you landed on that corner by rolling there and nothing happens. 2, you're actually in jail. That happens if you land on go to jail, draw a go to jail card, or roll doubles 3 times in a row. When you're in jail, you can't move until you either pay $50, use a get out of jail free card, or roll doubles within 3 turns. Trading is the secret weapon of Monopoly, and a lot of casual players never really use it. You can trade properties with other players on your turn, exchange one property for another, sell for cash, even include get out of jail free cards. Trades are totally flexible and fully negotiated between you and whoever you're dealing with. Here's why trading matters. Maybe you own 2 of the 3 green properties and someone else has the 3rd. Neither of you can build, but maybe you've got something they want. This is where the real game happens, the negotiation, the wheeling and dealing. Monopoly isn't just about dice rolls, it's about making deals. If you're running low on cash, you can mortgage your properties to the bank, flip the deed card over and collect half the property's purchase price. While it's mortgaged, nobody pays rent if they land on it. To get it back, you pay that amount plus 10% interest. It's how you survive a rough patch without losing everything. When a player can't pay what they owe and can't mortgage or sell anything to cover it, they're bankrupt. They're out of the game. All their stuff goes to whoever they owed. If they owed the bank, everything goes back up for auction, and the game continues until there is exactly 1 player left standing. A few things that'll immediately make you better at Monopoly. Number 1, buy as much property as you can early, even cheap stuff. Don't skip anything in the early game. Properties that feel worthless early become rent machines later. Number 2, the orange and red properties are statistically landed on the most. That's because they're right after jail, and movement patterns constantly bring players back through that zone. If you can complete the orange or red Monopoly and build on it fast, you are in a very good position. Number 3, when there's a shortage of houses, don't trade them in for hotels. The bank only has 32 houses. If they run out, nobody can build until someone returns theirs. Hoarding houses is actually a real strategy. It freezes out other players who need them to grow their properties. Number 4, don't sit on incomplete color groups waiting to get lucky. Make trades, get your Monopoly. The game rewards the people who negotiate and deal, not just the lucky rollers. One completed color group with houses beats 5 properties spread across different colors every single time. And that is how you play Monopoly, the real way. You know the setup, how turns work, how to build, what all those special spaces actually do, how to trade, and the strategies that actually win games. No more 4-hour marathons ending with someone storming off. Well, hopefully. If this video helped you out, drop a comment below and tell me what game you want us to cover next. We do board games, card games, party games, all of it. Your suggestions shape what we make, and I genuinely read every single comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button and share this with the person in your life who always gets Monopoly rules wrong. You know exactly who that is. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.